Hi guys, just quick one on my basically my updates on my China theories and so forth. Um, Coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan may have started in August. There's been a study by the Harvard Institute, and they've studied various elements, which is actually quite clever of them, really. What they've done is they've looked. Harvard Medical School have analysed satellite images of hospital traffic where the disease is said to have originated in December, but they reckon that it started ramping up around August. Increased hospital traffic and symptom search data in Wuhan preceded document start SARS-CoV-2. So hang about with it, hang about with it. They've looked at satellite imagery, they've looked at research for symptoms and so forth, and they reckon that it's the highest relative daily volume between September and October. Hang about a minute, we didn't hear about it properly until the end of January, which just shows you how treacherous the race of this people are. It comes basically as the WHO team. They've just spent 2 weeks in isolation out there, and I think the only way to get tested over there is drop your trousers and bend over now, because they're using this new anal thing, which they reckon is a lot more effective at the outcome for a positive or a negative test, more accurate than it is with the very unreliable passive test, which the makers themselves turn around and say was not fit for purpose. It doesn't work. You can't use it for this, and yet we're still using it a year later. Anyway, the WHO are out there now, and they're going to be travelling out and trying to find the start of this virus. And this basically comes as China, very bad communist country. If you live in Hong Kong now, we gave it back in '97. They're taking it back this year completely. Martial law is going to be over it. They're going to have the tanks out at the streets and the police out and the army and so forth. It's such a shame for these people. If you actually are a UK citizen, they're not going to recognise your UK passport anymore. Now, I don't know if this applies to people out there on business or so forth, but this is just absolutely abysmal. Basically, the British National Overseas Passport for Hong Kong people is not going to. This is basically turning around to the UK and saying, hang about, we don't give a shit about you, which they really don't. All they worry about is our money. Stop buying Chinese as much as you can. If you've been offered an iPhone as an upgrade, go and get a Samsung, yeah? They're basically saying here that Hong Kong has another 2.3 million of their dependents, and it's just a disgusting whole data affairs. This is reported by Al Jazeera, by the way, which is quite an accurate, really uncensored channel. Biden, let's give him a bit of a thumbs up here, because Trump imposed a lot of things. Trump said he was going to support Taiwan because they're just a small, undernourished country, really, but they have been practicing democracy. They're getting on really well with it, and he wanted it to grow. And Biden apparently has said that he's going to stand by some of Trump's. I'd like to see what ones he's going to stand of Trump's. But basically saying they can't have the Chinese having a back door into the network. This is to do with all the data transmission and security breaches and so forth, which have been over the time. Now, only a week before last, there was a data breach on a card machine, a friend of mine, and only yesterday I checked my computer. I've been having a few problems, as you know. One's gone down on me yesterday, and I had a login and a review of my data from China. Now, 5G, of course, the infrastructure is Huawei. America's saying here that they can't have anything Huawei, ZTE, or any other company. China's ZTE Corp and other telecommunication equipment firms. And I don't disagree with them. I hate to think that we have now the new infrastructure which is based on Chinese technology when we know Google wouldn't touch China for the simple reason Google still won't support Huawei phones. On Huawei phones you have to have a separate app store because they just say, look, Chinese, it's communistic dictatorship and they're spies. And yet the UK, we go and get 5G against its occupants' wishes, and we have the Chinese infrastructure. Another thing that Trump wasn't very happy with us on. This really comes as because Taiwan turned around and said, look, we don't want you to claim us, we're independent of you, we always have been, we always want to be. China basically has said, look, independence means war. If you don't give it to us, we'll just fight you for it, basically. Now, Trump's been making arms available to Taiwan. He's been supporting Taiwan. The interesting thing will become if Biden's strong enough to say, well, yeah, I'm supporting Taiwan through the top, yeah. However, they toughened its language towards Taiwan on Thursday. They said they've stepped up their military operations. They have actually sent fighter jets over Taiwan. But Taiwan has actually had a look go back on here, yeah. Taiwan Air Force flexes its muscles. They flown planes back over the South China Sea and they've gone out in defiance. They've sent boats out into the South China Sea and say to China, you don't own this, because of course China just claimed that the South China Sea was their sea and it's the most busiest trade route coincidentally in the world. A handful of people in Taiwan were seeking the island's independence. This is what the Chinese government, the inside, it's just a load of communist bollocks. It really is. It goes against everything what being a good human being really is. These Chinese dictators are just that. The Chinese insurgents conceded with a US air carrier battle group entering the disputed South China Sea to promote freedom of the seas. Well, we know that communist dictatorships do not have this word freedom. We've come to learn that over many centuries. This is written in history. They do not have freedom. A handful of people in Taiwan are seeking the island's independence. We warn those Taiwan independence elements. Those who play with the fire will burn themselves, and Taiwan independence means war. Means war. So he's saying it's war. If I was in Taiwan at the moment, I'd be slightly shaken by this. As the Chinese Navy is quite substantial, and of course who did train the Chinese Navy years ago, same as the Japanese Navy, hence why they were so easy to attack Pearl Harbor. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with that little thought there. Please subscribe to my channel, as always. Please go by what I say. Love, peace, harmony and respect. It really does go a long way when you respect other human beings for their own opinions and their own mannerisms and their own doing. Of course, if they're good manners and good morals and good ways of thinking. Everybody's got an opinion. I'm the same. I try and sit on the fence so long, but the China thing really does roll me a little bit, because in this modern day and age, how can we accept that there is another nation on this small little planet of ours that is allowed to keep making all these billions and billions and trillions of dollars each year, but through doing so treats their people with such disrespect that they're willing to chain them up for having WhatsApp on the telephone for a minimum of 2 years, whip them, beat them, kill them, become genocidal towards them, all because of that. Well, people endure so far. It just goes beyond belief. Anyway, love, harmony, peace, respect, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks ever so much. Thanks ever so much for listening.